أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن المتقين في ظلال وعيون فواكه مما يشتهون كلوا واشربوا هنيئا بما كنتم تعملون إنا كذلك نجزي المحسنين ويل يومئذ للمكذبين كلوا وتمتعوا قليلا إنكم مجرمون ويل يومئذ للمكذبين وإذا قيل لهم اركعوا لا يركعون ويل يومئذ للمكذبين صدق الله العلي العظيم. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Lecture number 10, ninth class. Today I will tell you about the classification, the reasoning of the classification, why the plants and animals are classified. This is a question mark. The classification is so much important that when we will not classify animals and plants into the groups, how we will study them? If we will not study animals and plants, how we will get good crops like wheat, rice, whatever we eat, even the fruits and vegetables? If we will not study the plants, how animals, how we will able to study anatomy and morphological structure of the human body? How we will be able to study the plants? How we will be able to study the diseases in the human beings? So this is the better idea, because creator is the one. Creator is the one. Just recall the example which I was giving during the plasmodium study. I told you Ronald Ross wanted to do experiment in the human body. He wanted to know that female Anopheles mosquito is causing the disease in the human, but he did not do experiment in the human. He did experiment in the sparrows, and he selected the mosquito which caused the malaria in the sparrow. That was the female Culex mosquito. Why he did not select the female Anopheles mosquito? Why he did not select the humans for the experiment? The reason, because humans are sensitive. It means creator is one. These animals are so related with each other. Dear students, if you will see the adenine, thymine, guanine, cytosine, 4 chemicals in the DNA, they are present in all animals and plants. In the plant, same DNA is present, same nucleotides are present, same mitochondria is present, which is present in the human body. This is the relationship. This is the relativeness. They are our relatives. Just like you say, this is my brother. Yes, they are our relatives, because they are your chemical relative. They are your biochemical relative, because same type of organelles relative, because same type of organelles which are present in the plants, they are simply present in the animal, and similarly they are present in the human bodies. Now look at the terminology we just wanted to explain. First of all, this is the term which I just want to explain: biodiversity. 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 You see that National Geographic Channel, did you see different type of animals, different type of the fishes, different type of group of the animals? Lions belong to separate species, the rat belong to separate species, the cat belong to separate species, sparrow is a separate species. So many species, and so many species we did not know. That I don't think that until Qiyamah we will be able to identify all species, because this geographical world is so vast. Nature has made so vast that humans, and they provide us, Allah Ta'ala provided us the opportunity to research, to investigate the different species of animal, different species of the plants. And we are doing, when we study one species, one new species is evolved. I give you example. Look at the coronavirus. Was it present earlier? No. The medical science was researching plasmodium, they were researching the AIDS virus, they were researching other virus. Suddenly another virus evolved. So this is a game. This is a game. The nature made us busy and kept us in activities. So biodiversity is exactly the word which we can use here. What is the word? The different group of animals and the plants are present. These animals and plants are scattered. These animals and plants are scattered. They are so many, and they are so many, it's very difficult to study them separately. So what is the solution? What is the solution? Solution is that we can study them in the form of the groups. How we can study? We can classify them into small groups, we can classify them into the large groups, and small groups, smallest unit of the classification. I told you in the last lecture that was the species. So two aims of classification I just wanted to highlight today. Two aims of the classification. One aim of the classification, to study the relationship between the animal. What is the similarity between the animals and what is the differences between the animals? If we will be able to see the similarities and the differences between the animals and the plants, then we will be able to study them. I give you one example, you will be able to understand. First of all, the biodiversity. One thing is sure by the term which is written in, one thing is sure, that biodiversity is the different type of the plants and the animals, and there are multiple species, there are unlimited species, which are the groups present in the world. How we can study them? We must classify them. I give you example. Different type of the classes present in the college: 9th class, 10th class, first year class, second year class. Is that possible to handle all students by 17, 20 or 30 teachers? Very difficult. Very difficult. If one boy present in a home, one son is present, it is not being handled properly by the parents, and parents say, this is the son and he is making so nice, I am unable to control. So what is the solution? Students, what is the solution? The solution is that we classify them into classes. Of course, you are right. We can classify into the 9th class students will go to one class, the 10th class students will go to one class. Similarly, first year students will go to one class, second year students go to one class. By such classification, you will be able to handle many students in one time. For example, if I am teaching even 100 students in the 9th class, if I have to teach 9th class, so even they are 100, and if I have some facilities to convey my message, to convey my sound like the mic, so I am able to handle the 100 students simply. It means that why I am able to handle 100 students in one time? Reason: because I classified the students. We have to classify the students. Similarly, if first year students are in one class, the one teacher will be able to handle. If you will not classify, I will tell you, when there will be no classification, you are not classifying the 9th, 10th, first year, second year, and you just make a class, strange class, and you will be astonished that strange class, what is that? 7th class student. That class consists of one student of 7th class, or some students of 7th class. Some students of 8th class are present, some students of 10th class are present, some students of 11th classes are present, some students of 12th class are present. What will happen? One teacher will go, he will start teaching second year topic. What the students will say: sir, you are teaching second year class and I belong to 8th class, you are not teaching me. So what is the problem? The teacher say, okay, I start teaching the 8th class. This teacher start to teach 8th class topic, and first year class say, no, sir, I belong to first year. It means when you will not classify, classify into the groups, it means that when you will not set them in separate classes, you are unable to handle. Handle means you are unable to study. Similarly, when you will not divide the animals and the plants into the classes, when you will not divide the animals and the plants into small species, you are unable to handle the animals and the plants. You are unable to study animal and plants. When you are unable to study, now one question once again arises: sir, why there is a need to classify them? My question to you is that why there is a need to classify 9th, 10th, first year, second year students in the college? Why? Because they are more than 20, they are more than 30, they are more than 20, they are more than 10. So better we must classify. One teacher cannot teach one student. There is no time. One teacher will not be able to handle one student in one time. So better, you must classify the animals. Similarly, you must classify the animals also. When you will classify the animals, look here, I will teach 30 students in one time. I will speak one time, 30 students will learn the lesson. Similarly, when you will study one animal, you will study full species. You got information. You got true information. You got true information now. Look here, lion species is there, all lions which are present in the world. When you will study one lion, it means you are studying all lions. Amazing. What was the advantage of the classification? True advantage of the classification. Look here, one student passed MBBS from Uswa College, and he did MBBS, and after doing MBBS after 5 years, will he study all humans of Pakistan? And will he start traveling from Peshawar and he will go to the Karachi? Human being, come here, please Mr. Aslam, come here, I just want to study your structure. No, he will study one human. When he will study one human, mean he studied all humans, morphology and anatomy of the whole humans. Why he is able to study all humans? The reason is that because human beings are grouped in one species. It means similar animals. To study similar animals, when you will classify animals into the small groups, what will happen? When you will study one animal, it means you studied full animals. You studied all animals. Similarly, when you will classify the plants into the small group, a small unit, when you will classify the plants into a small group, it means you studied all plants. Time will be saved, hard working will be saved. So that is why research, whatever the research and investigation even upon the corona patients are being done, they are not studying all corona patients, they are studying some corona patients. So my students, classification save over time. Classification make us easy to study animals and the plants. Classification tells us the relationship between animals and the plants. Now I will tell you what is the smallest group of animals and the plant. The smallest unit of animals and the plant. The smallest unit of animal and plant, student, is species. S-P-E-C-I-E-S, species. You are watching species. So it means that lion belong to one species, human being one species. The definition of the species I told you in the last lecture, I will tell you once again. The species, the animals which are living together, which can fertilize, which can interbreed. Their sperms and the egg, their gametes can combine and the zygote can be formed and their kid is just like the same. If they are able to produce the kid just like the same, it means they are species. We human beings still are not species until they will produce the kid. For example, one animal, lion is species, and lions are mating and their fertilization being taking place, and the kid is the monkey. That is not the species. By lions, there is a condition. What is the condition? They must fertilize, they must interbreed, and their kids must be parents-like. When they are able to produce the parents, kids like the parents, that is the example of the species. So it means that by the classification, by taxonomy, what is the definition of the taxonomy we studied in the last lecture? Yes, study classification of the animals and the plants is called the taxonomy. So by taxonomy, by classifying plants and animals, you divide the group into species, 9th class into one species, 10th class into one species, first year class into one species. It is species. You will make one paper for the 9th class, all 9th class will solve. Easier one. When you are teaching 4 students, 9th, 10th, first year, second year in one class, you will make one paper for 9th class, one paper for first year class, one paper. For 4 students, you will make 4 papers. When 100 students are in 9th class, you are just making one paper. Wow, how much the advantage of the classification. How much the advantage of the classification. So now I go back to second point, students. This is a very important point. I wanted to discuss in the last lecture, in the next lecture, but I will tell you. Classification help in formation of the closed groups. The animals which are related with each other, they will remain in a single group. the animals which are having the similarities, much similarities, and they will remain in a closed group, their study is very easy. The animals which belong to different groups, they will remain in the different species. So smallest unit of classification. Why I am telling smallest unit of classification is the species? Because we will not classify animals and plants into one unit. We will divide into multiple units. I will tell you classification. That is not one classification. We will divide into species, we will divide into genus, we will divide into phylum, we will divide into order, we will divide into family, which I am going to tell you in the next sessions. But smallest unit, the name of animal and the plant depends upon the species. Just like your name, your nickname is very important. Your parents are calling, we are calling. So nickname of animals, it is based upon the species. Whenever we will name the bacteria, name will be based upon the species. That's why the species is more important. That is the smallest unit of classification, the lowest unit of classification. This will also understand when I will speak the taxonomic hierarchy. Mean I will step by step, I will tell you this is a subgroup, this is a large group, there's a more large group, then it is very large group. So then you will be able to understand species is the smallest unit of the classification. Now I will tell you, this is my the contact in which you will ask some questions. If you have any question, you can contact me, because I am showing this in each lecture. Reason is that because when you will see this one, you will be able to ask any question. I will respond. This is my YouTube address and also the Facebook, and you can contact me. This is the information. Now I will tell you, students, the important information which I just want to give you. Smallest unit of classification, this is given, this is given, information is given. Now one information, last information of today's lecture. The second most reason of classification is the evolution. Evolution mean the grandparents were different from today's human. Similarly, the animals who were living 100 years back, they were different from the current animals. The animals, you know, the one media news is that one country has a skull of 16th century, and they just changed that skull into human being. Just wanted to know how in the 16th century human being, how it looked like. Reason, evolution. Because they knew the current human being has been changed. Current human being face has been changed. Similarly, inner structure has been changed. Question is, sir, why human being change the structure? Why human being change the structures? The students, when I will tell you, you will be astonished. Listen here. Do you think weather is same as it was 16th century back? Do you think that diet is the same as 16th century back? It means our body, which is a machine, this is a super machine, and this is not made by any company, this is made by Allah Ta'ala. And Allah Ta'ala never made a machine which is useless. Allah Ta'ala never made a machine which is useless. The machine which can adjust temperature, the machine which can adjust the conditions, when this machine will face some different conditions outside, it will change inside automatically. I think you are getting 16 years back, the environment, the habitat, the area in which I will live, that is my habitat. We are in college, the college is our habitat. We are living in the classroom, that classroom is my habitat. The habitat change, inner structure change, anatomy change, morphology change. This is called the evolution. After passing many years, habitat change. Habitat forced the human body and animals to change the internal structure. That structure change, the evolution take place. And when the evolution take place, the animals become different from each other. So what is the advantage of classification? We will be able to study the evolutionary relationship between the animals and plants. Students, thank you very much. And this was lecture number 10. And classification, you have to classify your life as well. You have to classify your time as well. By such way we classify animals and plants. I will speak some technical terms in the next lectures, because that will be more biological terms, because I have given you a rough idea what is the classification, especially species and evolution. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.